Welcome to TLDR, your quick hit e-commerce news. Recently, Amazon joined other tech giants, including Facebook, Apple, and Google, in the antitrust hearings, where Amazon was being accused of using its third-party seller data to introduce competing products and make business decisions. And most of you probably have a face like this. It's been long hypothesized in the e-commerce community that Amazon has been doing this. But what's interesting is this time we have Bezos responding directly to some of these questions. And while he never really got more than 3 words in before being interrupted, it did give us a closer look into some of the problems that exist for sellers with Amazon right now. The questioning for Bezos revolved around 2 key areas: the use of that third-party seller information, as well as counterfeit goods on the platform. So let's start with number 1. When asked if Amazon uses third-party information to make business decisions, Bezos referenced a policy that forbids people from doing it. But he also couldn't guarantee that this policy has never been violated. And while I'm not here to say whether it's been violated or not, I do want to talk about a seller on Amazon and the conflict of interest that happens with all the data that Amazon has. When you go and look for something on Amazon, almost guaranteed the first product that you're going to see is a Amazon private label product, like in this battery example here, even listed ahead of the sponsored or paid positions on that product page. And it even goes a step further with Amazon's choice. Amazon is recommending and saying that this is their choice of product for this particular search, and you guessed it, it happens to be an Amazon private label brand. And while this isn't that bad, because as a consumer, I can see that these are Amazon products and I can make the decision to buy that or not, they also have 158,000 private label products on the platform, and many of them don't bear the Amazon name at all. Here's a bunch of examples of Amazon private label brands that you may run into on the platform. Notice how many of them don't include the Amazon name at all. They're always introducing new private label companies or brands to be more competitive in some of the best performing spaces on their platform. And one of the most interesting or infamous ones on this list is the 206 Collective, which at the end of last year famously introduced a product very, very similar to the Allbirds that you see on the left there. And while the look is very similar, Amazon and the 206 Collective didn't actually copy the sustainable practices and ethical materials that Allbirds uses. And in one of the best responses to something like this, Allbirds actually wrote a letter to Amazon giving them all the information they needed to make these shoes sustainably. What an amazing marketing call by Allbirds, and kudos to you, Joey, for penning that letter. I'm wearing the Allbirds right now. So why should you care? Well, Amazon views you as an internal competitor when you're listing on their platform, and some of their internal documents actually refer to the sellers as this. So if you are listing on Amazon, you are actually competing against them. They are learning more about the products that you're selling, and they are able to react to that a lot faster than you are. They have all of the data. And that's not the only problem with Amazon. The second is the counterfeit items that are on the marketplace. And it's hard to estimate how many counterfeit items are being sold on Amazon, but it does exist. And one of the best ways to illustrate this is Nike actually pulling all of its products from Amazon at the end of last year. Now, there wasn't an officially stated reason for doing this, but it has been hypothesized that the reason that Nike moved off of Amazon was because there was so many counterfeit Nikes up for sale alongside those real Nikes on the platform. And why is this important? This is important because not only are you competing against Amazon, in these situations, if you gain fame and your brand starts to take off on Amazon, you actually might end up competing against yourself, actually having to compete against knockoffs of your own brand. And from all of this, I think the biggest takeaways are that it's time to own your own audience. It's time to own your own experience and establish a real connection with those customers. If you're only listing your products on Amazon, they're learning more about you. You're going to end up competing against Amazon and end up competing against yourself. That's been this week for TLDR. See you next time.